Check, check, check. Check, check. What is up, y'all? We're back. Wednesday, halfway through the week. Back at it with another opportunity to make some money, get a little bit better in all things. Stay locked in and stay focused. So, very bullish action, okay, since the old taco. We're tacoing all the way back up to the highs here. You can see ES hit my next target, sweeping these highs. Let's actually just go to ES on the daily really quickly here and see what we've got. No session VP. So you can see here that we're basically at all-time highs on this index. Okay, traversed much of the auction here. We might sweep the highs. We might not. Not really sure. If we get a reversal, I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back a little bit off of this sweep right here based off ES. But if we look at NQ, we can see that it's a little bit different of a story. Okay, we're about halfway through this node here. Okay, a little bit of top wick here. The edge of the node is a little higher, 26.1. I've got 26.255 as my upside target, right? Confluence with the edge of the node and this daily high here. So, a few things going on. I took a Bitcoin short, actually. There's a little tweezer set up on Bitcoin, as well as a... If we go here, if we look at Bitcoin on the daily, high volume top wick, but it's green. If we look at the 4 hour, we got a 4 hour doji, high volume doji here on Bitcoin. Let's see if we come down to the naked POC at 70, basically 71,000. Okay, we'll see if we range down to there on Bitcoin. Took a little Bitcoin future short, which I literally just was looking at charts and I saw it, so I took that setup. No real rhyme or reason for that. Other than that, here on our favorite indices, just in a holding pattern, okay, we had a little grab here, naked or prior day POC retested essentially on MNQ. Could continue to start grind higher here, okay? Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. If we do crack these highs and hold, then this is probably going to be the low of the day here, 25,935, and we'll start to stampede higher. Let's get our session VP in here, and we can see, yeah. Let's see if we start to run for these highs. NQ still needs to run for its highs. Take a risk. What's up? Good morning. Need some music playing. Let's see. Take a risk. How's your trading been going? Paolo, what's up? Good morning. How's your trading going, Paolo? And take a risk. How's your guys' trading going? Let me know in the chat. Dinesh, hi, newly joined Discord group and eagerly want to learn VP. Cool, man. I'll do a little breakdown for you here on the stream then. Good morning, Forrest. Quad, what's up? Pretty good this week. Caught most of the long from yesterday. Nice, man. I took no trades yesterday. Actually, that's not true. I took one little trade, got a little paper cut. It's like $17 red, I think. So very small. Good job catching that long. Tay Will, good morning. What's up? Welcome back. Let's see what data we have today. Green for the month, but yesterday I had a bad day. I'm still learning to not fight the trend. I tend to go counter trend. I feel that. I feel that heavily. Yeah, if you don't have a strong thesis, just do nothing. Just practice doing nothing. Can I recommend on how to learn? I'll give you a little breakdown here shortly. A little VP 101. I'm going to take a bite out of my wrap, though, here soon. I'm currently practicing just staying focused in spite of whatever might be happening. Got a lot of stuff going on in life and the business, and I'm just trying to keep my zen. Just keep the zen. Yes, pop the highs. Let's see what we do here. The 4 hour, I mean, it's just going to be green if it holds this high here. Okay, we're above value area high right now. MNQ, below value area high. Let's check NQ. Figured today would just digest the run up last 2 days. Yeah, very possible. We had 2 very green days back to back. Calls, I'm sure, did disgustingly well. I need to actually make a phone call for something. Very curious if my micro Bitcoin short hits today. We'll see. Do the Tuesday, Thursday coaching calls get postponed until further notice? Also, when you have any time, can you post the very last one from the 7th? I need to edit out because I recorded my entire screen. Not postponed. I need to work on the schedule. I've been very busy, though. So I'll give you guys an update. But, yeah, I've been very busy, man. I basically work all day, every day, and then doing the morning coaching calls every Tuesday and Thursday into perpetuity is not sustainable. So I am going to update the schedule a little bit, but I need a break. Need some rest. I'm tired. I've hit my human limit. I've been working like 16, 18-hour days for about a year. So, running this company takes a lot of energy. And I need to take my foot off the gas in some areas so that I can trade better. Because I've been trading that well, to be honest, guys, personally. I need to lock back in. Gots to lock back in. But we'll probably do, by no means am I ending the mentorship, okay, the group coaching. Okay, that's why I took the time to make the course, like all the videos. So those are always there. I just need to do probably, instead of just every Tuesday and Thursday forever, I'm probably going to do like cycles. So like the first X weeks of the month or whatever days of a month we'll do it, and then the rest will be off or something like that. Time for a 1 week vacation? Yeah. Let's chill and do some windmills? Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Where can I find those videos? The course is something you have to pay for. In the Discord, though, we've collected just on my YouTube channel. Technically, I'll be honest with you guys. Everything I know is on my YouTube channel. It's just unorganized and it's kind of spread out throughout time. So the course is just like I took the time to actually organize my thoughts. And it's like 40 videos. It's designed to help you like understand how I think. I can explain the system in 2 seconds. The system itself is simple, and I'll talk about it here in a second, but how to think is the most important part of trading. Because you could reason about anything. I could say, oh, this is going to go up because we've got a green, another green, so it's going to keep going green. Or I could say, wait, no, it's actually going to reverse because it was green, and then there's a green, so it makes sense that there's going to be a red. So to avoid having infinite what ifs, you need a way of thinking, which is part of what the system's for, but the whole collection of videos is for as well. So let me take a bite of this burrito. I'll do a quick 101 for you right now, brother, for free. For free. Oh, that is good. All right. You'll use hot sauce sometimes. I don't have any though. Now you said that though, I really want some. Hold up. Let me chew my food. Hold up. Okay. Your strategy is based on reversal, right? Last 2 days were trends, so it would have been hard to follow your system, correct? No. The playbook trades that I teach are mean reversion trades, the two main ones, because they're easy to spot. Playing trends is pretty simple. So let's actually talk about trend playing using VPE first, because we're in a trending market. So that'll be a good example to talk about. And then we'll talk about something else. Okay. So let's go back in time using the power of the replay tool. So I have the visible range volume profile on my chart. For those of you that are new here, who don't really understand the volume profile entirely, the bars down here, volume, tell us how many transactions happen within a window of time. We all understand that, okay? So between the period of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for this 4-hour candle, there was this much volume. It looks like 986.34 thousand transactions happened in this 4-hour window. Cool. So that tells me how many people showed up between 10 and 11. But what if I said, hey, how many people transacted at 24,000? Okay. It's a very different question. or specifically 24,320. So that's what this bar is. Okay, so this bar tells me how many people are transacting at each price. And that's important because time does tell us something meaningful about when participation is going to show up and how meaningful a candle is. But the volume at a price tells us which prices we can expect to be more important than others. Specifically because if we know that if transactions are happening at a price, we know that people's cost basis, okay, their basis is at that price. It has to be one way or the other. At least half of the auction is, okay? And when we know where people are positioned, we know when they have to make decisions, and we know when other people have to make decisions, we can make trades based off of that. So that is a key concept of like how I use auction market theory to trade. So we're in this range here. We're inside this node, okay, what I call a high volume node. There's a lot of people here playing. You can see that we're ranging here. So this ranging activity creates these nodes, okay? So what will happen is eventually we're going to break out of this trend. You can use whatever technical analysis you want. We're not going to get too deep into that. But when we break that, what you're going to end up with is trending up to the next node until we transact the next node. There's two ways that this happens. Sometimes we'll get a first touch, kind of one of these breaks, okay? Or you'll get something like this, okay? Where it just cracks and it just transacts, okay? Which is kind of what we're in now. So the reason that it rips through this area is because this is low value. Whoops. So this area right here is low value. It's not no value. Be very clear. So the intensity of the rip depends on, you know, there's a bunch of other stuff we could talk about. In general, this is like 101, very high level, okay? I just want to say that because there are situations, there are a million different ways it could play out. But in general, it's going to play out like this, and it's because this is low value, this is high value, this is very high value. So the market's going to go towards liquidity, it's going to go towards where people are positioned, and people are going to start transacting in this area like we are now. Okay, so let's see how this actually played out. If I wanted to take a long here, okay, and I put my stop, let's put my stop at somewhere at a node. Okay, I'm going to put it down at this node here, and I'll put my TP up at the next node. Okay. Okay, and that's how, you know, you take a trade, literally. So you can see what happens once we got into this next node, the market starts ranging, almost like magic. We rip through the low value, we get to the next node, the next area of participation where there's people, okay, and we get a little whipsaw, we get a little ranging, okay? We get that little gap down, rips through the auction again, we're in low value, and up here, okay, we're in the next auction, okay, the next node, the next node, and we're getting a little bit of action here. So that's how this works in trending markets. Day to day, a very simple way to think about this, okay? Let's go to a more rangy day here, okay? Let's just look at this area here. So what I really look for on each day, actually, we'll just use the current day. It doesn't really matter. There's 4 levels that I look for, okay? Overnight high, overnight low, prior day high, prior day low. Okay, now prior day high and prior day low are the more important ones, okay? But overnight high and overnight low matter as well. Why, Forrest? Well, we're actually going to go down to the settlement open low in this case to show you how you still do have to use some discretion. But let's just start with the levels that we have. So overnight high is everything before 9:30 a.m. So let's just mark that high. Overnight low, okay, this is 1800 from yesterday. So you can see how we pushed up. Let's go to the 1 hour actually. So we get a few more candles in here. Overnight low is kind of off the table, okay, because we opened up like inside of yesterday, okay? So the low of overnight is really down here, 6 a.m., 927. But the real low is really the prior day low, right? Prior day low supersedes that. But prior day low is sucked up by the other prior day low, Okay, so the last kind of unbroken low is settlement open on Sunday. Okay, so this level is meaningful. It's an obvious edge here, especially as we look for confluence with the VP, which we should always be doing for our levels. We're always looking for confluence with the auction. So these are the only prices that I really should think about taking a trade today. Okay, this one, and this one. Okay, those are the best areas for entry. Well, why, Forrest? Well, thanks for asking. Okay, the reason is if I take a short up here, my risk, okay, presumably, if I think that this is the high of the day, okay, my risk is limited to wherever I decide to put my stop up here, right? I could zoom out. Let's say I put my stop at this next high up here, right beyond the edge of the auction. Okay, we see there's a big change in the VP. I put my stop up there. Okay, now depending on if I think we're going to range or not, I essentially have essentially like a 1-1 trade if it's like this, or if I think that we're going to go way lower, okay, trading the VP, we're essentially looking for this here. I could TP at this delta here in the VP, right? There's an obvious edge here, right? But it's like a 1 to 5. Limited risk, a lot of upside. Okay, the expected value of my trade is good. Now, I shouldn't just short the highs just to short the highs. Shorting the highs is good. Longing the lows is good. I need something that tells me to enter. Okay, I need a reason. Okay, that's where our signal candles come into play. Okay, but same thing down here. If I take a long down here, I'm much more likely, okay, for us to mean revert into this auction because the market's been very rangy than to not. Same with taking a long here. Okay, long or short here. Okay, either get confirmation for a short with deep red. Okay, see a lot of selling on the red side, or we're going to see a drift, bear flag form. Just see a flag form like this, and we'll get continuation like that. So, but those are really the only areas that you should be looking to take trades. I was about to say something. I forgot. Can't remember. Oh, signal candles. Wrap up this VP 101. So what is a signal candle? A signal candle is a candle with higher volume than the previous candle that is either a shooting star, doji, or a hammer candle. Okay? It needs to be one of those candles. Okay, and it needs to be at the edge. Okay? We'll say sweeping a key level. It has to sweep a key level. So if we get a high volume doji, like if we got a red doji that swept one of these levels, prior day high, prior day low, overnight high, overnight low, that's where we get an A trade. Anything outside of that, are there trades? Yes, there's tons of discretionary trades, but those are like the A setups. Those are the setups where you can basically predict the future. The candle needs to be going in the direction of your trade. It's a nice clean setup. So that's basically what I look for. So you spend a lot of time waiting for A setups, essentially, if you trade like me. There are other setups as well. There's like double doji patterns on the daily, double doji reversal patterns, like red-green dojis, green-red doji, double doji patterns, things like that, signaling reversals. There's tons of stuff I don't necessarily teach, but that I journal and that I trade off of. So, yeah. There's your 101. Any questions? Let's see what here. Bro. Can I use a 50-minute candle for confirmation? I'm trying to move away from scalping, but it's tough waiting on the higher time frames. It being tough isn't a reason to do or not do something. That's what I would say. So I think you know what the answer is. If I was like, yo, you got to climb this mountain, and if you climb it, there's $10 million at the top. You want to be like, yeah, but that's tough. You know what I mean? It's a little perspective for you. Prior day low is Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday, 6. So to answer your question, I'm going to rephrase it differently. The periodicity that I use for each day, the session, is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Settlement open to settlement close, which is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Understood. Cool. So now that you understand, I want you to internalize that, and I would say this. You can do whatever you want. You should be looking for edge. So before you do something, Ali, what I would say is, do you have data on the 15? Say you're looking for confirmation. Is it confirmation? Is it really confirmation? Do you have data that supports that thesis? And if you don't, then I would focus on collecting that data before using it. But just understand the 15-minute is a very low time frame. So anything that you think is happening on the lower time frame, unless it's extremely at an edge or something, can easily get eaten up by something on literally any other time frame. 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour. Okay. The 2 hour is a prime example. You'll see stuff on the 2 hour all the time, especially in trending markets, that just gets eaten up because the 4 hours in play. So it can be a really deceptive time frame. I did used to trade the 15-minute myself quite a lot, honestly, especially scalping options. So there are trades there, but I'm just saying there's a reason I don't trade it anymore. ES looking a bit weaker. VIX expiration today. Yeah, we're getting some top wicks here. NQ, MNQ swept this high nicely here. I don't have a ton of conviction either way on the market. It's just one of those days. My Bitcoin short is up a bit. It's nice. Oh, it's a loud indicator. We got this early morning dip lower. So this looks like one of those days where it's just going to grind up. Okay. That's what it looks like. It could grind up just a little, honestly, because we've had 2 very green days. Nice little pullback there. I could see this ranging to the POC. It is building value above. Very high, though. I mean, it's just a low quality day. What is meant by overlay candle? So this is just an indicator. It overlays the daily candle. So you can see the daily candle on top of your chart. That's all it is. A lot of green. For example, how that 50-minute high volume shooting star got smacked. Which one? I don't know. I'm not looking at the 15, so. But possibly, yeah. The way that I would use lower time frames is if I have confirmation on a lower time frame and a higher time frame, like that just makes a better setup on the higher time frame. If you have divergences across time frames, that's where it gets tricky. So the more confirmations that you have, the better. But you want confluence. Okay, you want your lows in your higher time frame to match up. That's where you get the really sick trades. Like the stream, guys, if you don't mind. Help a brother out. I missed the Sunday open long because I attempted to scalp and I should have just waited for the 1 hour close. I'm still kicking myself. Do you mind going over it? Sure. So this trade here, there's two things on this trade. One, expecting the push lower because of the candles that we got. We got top wick, very high volume red doji on ES and NQ, by the way. Okay, go to the 4 hour on NQ. Sunday. Okay. Wait, what day is this? Where am I? Over here. Awesome. This candle right here. Okay. There's too much stuff on my screen. High volume doji. Okay, so I'm expecting a move lower. I wasn't expecting the gap down. So I was going to go actually short settlement open to ride this lower. They gapped down, so they took that trade off the table, swept these lows. Okay. So after sweeping this area, I mean, that's your perfect long opportunity if you're upside biased. So as soon as you see the sweep of these lows, you just slap on a long. You could wait for the candle closure as well. Candle closure gives you a nice, high volume bottom wick. It's red on the 1 hour. But in terms of the VP, like the actual VP, there's a very clear edge there, right? It's a great place to take a trade. You could just look for the gap fill, or you could hold it. Obviously, in hindsight, we could see that holding it worked out, but don't necessarily know that at the time. But even just going for the gap fill trade, it's a great trade. I went for the gap fill trade. Okay, I did 400 points on Monday. So yeah, it's a good day for me. And I didn't even trade it perfectly. I took 2 longs. I longed, and then there was a little pullback, and then I took another long on the pullback. Just trading the VP. I literally just waited. I'll show you guys what I did actually exactly. So let's go to Monday. And it's like right around here. Okay. Let's go forward by 15 minutes. So I was in a long already. Okay. We get up to the POC. I know that it's going to do a pullback, right? So you just wait for the VP to form. Okay. You've got this node here kind of forming. So you should basically be looking like in this area, okay, a traversal of this node here to get back into the market, okay? That was too slow in my replay. So that was this pullback right here. So this little pullback was where I relonged. I went too fast on the replay, but little pop up. Let's see if the VP will form correctly for me. Let me go to a little bit lower time frame. Okay. So we get this little node up here. Okay. I'm looking at this node, and once we get into that area, I just slapped on another long, and I got like I just eked out another 100 points. I didn't hold it for too long. So there was much more than 100 on the table, but I just went for 100, and that was my 400 points. So 300 out of this, and then I got another 100 on that second long that I took. So that's how I played that. I meant how you said the lower the time frame, the more untrustworthy the candle will be, like the 50-min one at 9:30. Yep. Oh. I was looking for the entry at the POC, but it looked like it came down to a prior day low. Yeah. If you just weren't there right at settlement open too, like it's just one of those things you just got to let it go, you know? This weekly candle is almost 1,200 points already. Yeah. It's a big candle. But looking at the magnitude of the candle, I mean, this thing has more juice in it for sure. It could definitely go higher. Absolutely. Even just to the edge of this auction, you know, like we've got, get these levels off here. This high right here, weekly high, confluence with the edge of the auction. It's just, I could easily see us there by Friday. If you got a lot of juice, I mean, if I only did 400 points this week, I'm chilling. Which sounds crazy. Like, I'd like to get more trades in, but that's just not bad at all. You know? If you're doing 1,000 points a month with one in queue, you're making $20,000 a month. So different perspective for you guys on how to count your wins. But I very likely will take more trades this week. But today, we're going to be real patient. I'm already in a Bitcoin short, again, just to be clear. Okay. Got the 4-hour signal on Bitcoin. Okay, high volume doji here that I took. I want to see if we at least come down to this naked POC, range lower target. Let's see what happens here on that. But I'll be right back, y'all. Am I looking to swing it? Not really. I just want to go for 71,000. Let's see if we hit it. It's kind of been ranging like this. Got this little trend line here, so pretty conservative. I could go lower possibly. I could go for 68,383 possibly. This was back in March. Kind of have this flat base here too. If we do crack 76,370, I'll look for a breakaway long to this area, 88,000. Mark up some charts here a little bit. I'm not really thinking in terms of swinging or not, though. It's just, you know, whenever that trade hits, I guess it might be a swing trade. We'll see. No idea. Could stop out. Whoops. I was trying to go to the 1 hour and I typed in the ticker again. M&Q, ES, hugging the highs here. Very bullish, building value. Again, looks like it's going to march higher, possibly just based off of this overnight liquidity grab. 6 a.m. came down, touched the POC. Okay, if this candle closes up here, then we're probably just going to keep pushing higher today. Do you look at the 15-minute? No. I mean, you guys have never seen me go to the 15-minute on stream. Like, unless, like, you asked me to. Like, I literally just sit on the 1 hour and you can see the value building here. You know? I'm just paying attention to how it's changing over time, basically. Right? So this was much lower. This is much more of a D shape, and now we're getting this skewed price action up here. It's skewing. That's all. So just paying attention to that delta is the most important thing there. $15 minutes left to stream. What questions you guys have today? Please like the stream. If you want an account, daytraders.com now lets you get up to 15 accounts. You use code FRST. Hook yourself up with some day traders accounts. Get yourself some leverage. Look at that. Green. Unsurprising. March higher. Let's see how this plays out, actually. Whoops. See how high this pushes up here. I built, by the way, this is totally free, by the way, folks, a mobile app. Did the power vibe coding, but I created a what did I create? A journaling app that helps you metricize some of the squishier stuff. So it's like sleep, emotional state, other things like that. Tie it to your P&L. So it's a different type of journaling. You can put in notes. It'll give you like a daily score, and then over time you'll be able to see like how your P&L is affected by these things. And I just love the data, but it's totally free. I'll give you guys a link to it, assuming it gets approved in the App Store. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'll be using it every day. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It looks like this. Wait. That's what it looks like. So grade yourself on sleep, position sizing, emotional state. Did you cut your losers fast? Did you hold your winners? Did you make a plan and did you follow your plan? Then you put some notes, you put in your P&L, hit save daily log, and it'll be saved. Then once it's saved, you get a screen like this. Gives you a score, basically of how you did, stuff like that. So I'll be releasing that. Did you put it out for Android as well? It's not out for Android. I can look at um, what is meant by this. Adjust for contract changes. Is this what you're asking about? Back adjusted or be adjusted? So let's look at the daily chart. It'd be the simplest way for you to see this. So if I unselect this, we will get different prices, basically. We should see a bigger delta in this, unless I'm tripping. Yeah, you see how the bars are shifting? So you just want to adjust for contract changes. That's all. You don't have to, but this makes your historical analysis more accurate. I'll look at putting it out for Android once once I figure out how to do that, honestly.
It was 9:30. I was like, "Fuck! I want to stop this podcast and exit this trade," but I had to hold it because I don't want to be rude.
Yeah, shit.
Nah, I was in AMD, but Nasdaq's looking good too, though.
Yeah,
It's looking
what's
good.
up, man? I'm trying every time I'm on it.
This war stuff's like it's already over.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, we'll see. Maybe
we're
we'll get
about
another.
to get a final confirmation soon. So
Or maybe he just says something and gives us another
I'm ready for that. I'm ready
another
for that.
whoop
You
de
already
whoop.
know what
You
time
know?
it is.
Yeah. All right, man. Pushing higher. how much would I recommend risking per trade on a 50K account? With what firm? Probably just like 1 to 3 M&Q, 1 to 3 MES. It's a very simple way to know if your leverage is too high. Okay, when you get in a trade, okay, say you had a really good long entry down here. Okay, are you able to hold it to wherever you think the market's going, or are you cutting it because of the numbers on your screen? If you're ever cutting trades because of the numbers on your screen, you're trading too big. You should be able to hold your trade start to finish. It's a very, very simple metric. But in general, too, like, I mean, in this market, you can trade 1 to 3 M&Q. You'll pass that account in like 2 days, 3 days, if you're any good. If you're high leveraging to pass these accounts, it's just a coin flip. You're just like you're one bad trade away from blowing it up. Okay. So you don't want to be coin flipping accounts. One second, I gotta take this. Good morning. Good, good. How are you? Okay, guys. Got about 3 minutes left here. So I'm going to jump off. We are doing that push higher. Okay. Green continuation. Same kind of play that's been happening here in our trending markets. Okay. You get that liquidity grab, traversing the prior day node. Okay. Pushed all the way up, or it's pushing up higher. So MNQ and NQ. Okay. I'll go to NQ chart so you can see my target for higher. 26,255. Okay, we'll get rid of this one. Don't need that. Swept those highs already, so we're looking for. I already have an alert on that trend line. 26,255.25. What we're looking for. We'll make it a little bit lower. 246.75. ES is already going for all-time highs, so I don't really have anything to say there other than we'll put an alert here at all-time highs on ES. Let's put that one there. That is it, y'all. Thanks for watching. I will see ya next time I see ya.